So the film that I brought is called Useful Prophecies, and it's a compilation of films, useful films, films made to do a job, industrial, advertising, educational films, that have some element of prophecy in them.
Deposited on the site of the New York World's Fair on September 23, 1938, by the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company. If anyone should come upon this capsule before the year AD 6939,
films that were made to talk about, I don't know, the glories of American industry, the glories of capitalism, but to contain some understanding of what the future might be in a very unexpected way. Also, all of the material that I used, I think, is artistically quite excellent. So it's a compilation of films I like that try to take the audience into a new place.
Mother, wouldn't it be slick if we had an electric ironer, like Sally's mother has?
Of course it would. And I'm looking forward to having an electric dryer, too. Just think. Then we'd have a complete electric laundry. Whee!
I've always been interested in uncovering hidden histories, histories that aren't extremely well understood, histories that lie just below the surface and are ready to be understood and to make their way back into the present if we would only look. And so this is what my life is all about, is finding historical material and putting it out into the world. And in this film, I tried to make a kind of essay out of archival material.
It's a happy-go-spending world.
Abundance can be a trap. It can be very difficult to deal with abundance. This is, of course, the problem of the post-industrial age. But you know, it's not so bad. For this film, I made a list of about 200 possibilities, and then I narrowed it down to about 30, and I started looking at them, and you put them on an editing timeline, and you just cut, cut, cut. As my friend Keller Easterling once said, subtraction is growth. And this is a wonderful principle for editing in general. Subtraction is growth, that as you begin to strip away the excess, that you begin to come upon the truth. Prelinger Archives was the first large collection of archival film to go online. We were the first big collection online at the Internet Archive, which is a nonprofit organization based in California. When we put our first 250 films up, the Internet Archive went down. There was so much demand for this material. And this was in 2000, when very few people had high-speed internet. So what we think we've started to do is make historical media part of the infrastructure of the internet. In other words, you shouldn't have to look hard or jump through hoops to get access to media. Every generation and every community deserves the right to be able to reinterpret itself through history. And so what we did, I think, was let people know that this could be done and that this wouldn't break the world. And it's been extremely gratifying. Today, our archive is used by millions of people online. We've had around 500 million downloads. It's used by hundreds of thousands of people every year to view, for research and teaching, and also to make new work. And one of the things that's really exciting is that I see our footage everywhere. I don't know where it goes. You know, we are consumed, but it's automatic. I don't have to get involved. It's, you know, just to have a guaranteed source of historical material is extremely important to Wikipedia, to anybody that is working, making media right today.
How's the market? What's cotton doing? Tell me about soybeans. What's the quote on 94 score butter? Buy me 2 carloads of potatoes, 3 tons of beef.
I wish we could say that the internet were a time capsule, but you know, it really isn't right now. The internet is very fragile. Digital storage is very fragile. We don't have a way to keep bits forever. So we're trying, but it's going to be a while. Right now we have to use a combination of digital and physical media, and every one of us has to take the responsibility for being an archivist, for collecting material that means something to us. We can't rely on a centralized institution. It won't work. So yes, time capsules, but we don't know how to make them yet. I mostly collect home movies, personal and family films, on film. I don't collect video yet because video is very hard to collect. And then we scan everything and we have copies to work with. It's very easy to collect because they're infinite. There's so much material in the world. And then I collect industrial and commercial and educational films and documentaries that are of special importance. But I can't collect everything. I used to. And that collection went to the Library of Congress. It was much too big to keep. I think there's so many films that are important today, even urgent. You know, just to pick something out of the air, I'm especially interested in the films about the changing nature of work, of labor in the past, because today we're facing the end of work as we know it. You know, we're going to have some people who deal with information and some people who serve other people, but most of the industrial jobs are going to be gone. They'll be gone. They'll be replaced by robotics. And this is not a good situation. We can't take away people's skills and crafts and expect them to lead full lives. Work keeps us healthy. And so those films, I think, are pretty important.
What about that great unexplored continent at the bottom of our Earth? Larger than the United States and Europe combined.
The internet has shown us the possibility that all knowledge could be accessible. But we're still not doing a great job at doing that, and we have to learn how to do it right. There's still many obstacles to sharing information. A lot of it is enclosed, you know. There's copyright, there's anxiety, there's technical issues. And not everybody is convinced that freedom to access information is a good idea. And until that happens, I think we'll still, you know, we'll take one step forward and 2 steps back. So I'm thrilled with what's happened in the last 20 years, but we have so much longer to go.
There are rich ores and minerals carried by submarine trains to process stations on the coast.
So I'm a big consumer of information. The less mediated, the better. I love Twitter because a lot of times that's not so mediated. I look at Facebook, but I don't like it very much because a lot of people are aggressively ignorant on Facebook. I read a lot of newspapers. We don't have many newspapers left in the US, but I read them anyway. I almost never watch TV except British detective shows, you know, especially from the north where everything is very gloomy. But I don't do Netflix. I don't get out to the movies very much. I have hundreds of movies to watch every week from my own collection.